Zines. They're a form of small publication that are unique in that every aspect of them is controlled by the author. This gives zines this reflective quality that's not really seen in other mediums. When the only consistency of your entire medium is that it has to be physically bound in some way so that you can give it to someone else, there's a distinct uniqueness about every single zine that just isn't found in other mediums.
I'm really fond of this particular one here because of the thought that went into the actual like making of it. Like, I love all the little tactile things here. Like, she's got like this like scratch mark here, and then you turn over and there's like a pasted in picture of like a kitty cat in there. It just makes it feel very different. It makes it feel very personal. Like, this is something that was made like specifically for me. You know, at the end, she talks about how she has like stickers, and she said the zine was kind of heavy, so she's given me like 2 stickers instead of 1 that she normally puts in zines. So it's got these like nice little personal details that like make it really work. But the thing is I like about zines is that, you know, this one obviously spent a lot of time just making one particular issue, but then there'll be like another one like this one, and all it is like photocopied pieces of paper together, you know, very few graphics, but with like these like really interesting little essays. This one is about how much she loves Taylor Swift, and it works just as well. So you don't have to have any like particular artistic talent. It's like this one stands out for like different reasons than this one stands out. So I really like that. This is one of my favorite ones here. This is my favorite type of zine in general, and this is just people writing about their experiences with video stores. People who used to work in video stores, telling stories about it, people who, like when they were kids, would go to video stores, just writing about their like own personal experiences. And there's like pictures from like old defunct video stores and comics that they wrote about it, disgruntled employee stories. This one is done by a number of different people, so there's probably like 10 different contributors. And I like it a lot. It's kind of like chronicling something that doesn't exist anymore. You know, we don't have video stores the way that we used to, and so it's kind of like a nostalgia zine, talking about it that way. Like, for example, I picked like this one up, which is Hard Times and Other Promos, which is a zine about wrestling and poetry. So it's basically her writing about wrestling through poetry, and I know nothing at all about wrestling, but I love this idea. I love this like weird mashup of two things that seem entirely different from each other. So I went ahead and got this zine, and then I read all these like really like fun, interesting little poems like about like wrestling and everything. So it kind of introduced me to like a whole new like genre and a whole new like idea that like people have. And I have another one that is a more of a serious zine that deals with like wrestling, and I think I got it more just because I love how into it people are. I love when people are just so into something that they like analyze it and they go over details and they talk about like fan events and everything like that. I think that's just a wonderful thing about human nature, is the way that we want to talk about the things that we love, and we want to share the things that we love with other people. And zines is a way that we can do that, even if we don't have money or artistic talent, or we don't have a venue or something like that. We can just like put it together, and somebody might pick it up. Someone like me who knows nothing about this, and I'm still going to read this and I'm still going to enjoy it.
The easiest way for a newcomer to get into the world of zines would be to just jump right in there and go to an event or a convention of some sort that distributes zines. In Athens, we have Fluke, an event hosted at the 40 Watt that's been around for a little over a decade now.
Yeah, so the Musician Seeks Musician Mag was something that I've been doing for like 3 years, and I compiled 64 fake Craigslist ads that are sort of making fun of the things that people post in Craigslist musician forum, looking for people to make music with or like do projects on, or just to like yell at other musicians on the postings. So like none of them are real, but they're all kind of like honest to my experience of being a musician. So yeah, that project is just the compilation of all of those things that I'd written over the course of a couple years. These zines, the ones that are about bad movies. So if you see on the back, there's a Trash Daddy's logo, and that's me and two other guys from Richmond, Virginia, that have been doing screenings of B movies. And what we do is we do an illustrated zine and some posters that accompany every zine that or every movie that we show. So those are the 4 movies we've shown so far. Yeah, so the pins came from after the, it's like after the government shutdown ended, I made this drawing of Donald Trump as Captain Caveman, and I just thought it was really funny, so I was trying to figure out what to do with it. So my friend suggested making some pins to try and raise money. The organization that that I'm going to make a contribution to is called Run, Vote, Lead, and they're an organization that creates resources for women who want to run for office. Yep. So, and then these zines are basically my illustrations. I write a 7-line poem and then I do drawings, and they're sort of about this demon vulture that manifests sort of like objects relative to the point of the poem. This one's about the Challenger explosion. I've got one that's about the Grand Canyon, and then, yeah, they're all sort of sad stories that start with a poem.
Doing comics for 17 years, and the reason I love comics so much is because I believe that comics is like the perfect middle ground between art, writing, and film. Because like with this comic, Rare Drops, it was inspired by a number of things, like the cartoon Adventure Time, or like the video game Legend of Zelda. But now I'm taking inspiration from things like the Lord of the Rings, and like those movies, and also the novels. And by fusing all of those influences together, I'm able to make something that is unique, but at the same time is the bridge between these multiple different genres. And finding a way to tell a story that is, can have like the effects budget of like of a film, but created by one person. And then with ECPD, which is my newest book, I was thinking about how I could take like a cyberpunk classic, something like Blade Runner or Ghost in the Shell, and give it my own twist. So this book is sort of like a mix between Ghost in the Shell or Blade Runner meets Brooklyn Nine-Nine, something very modern, but very that has a lot of snappy comedic timing. Yeah. I think that comics are the interesting fusion of a whole lot of different genres all into one.
That thing's so creepy. I wish I could have covered more, but there was so much there, it felt wrong to just try to put it all inside of the camera.
It's very grungy here, dude. Everything's imperfect. Just get out of my face.